Hi and welcome to Real Magic Review. My name is Steve Faulkner and this week a little bit different. We're going to be reviewing a performance. So I've just been to see Dynamo's new show, Times Are Gone for Honest Men. So we got a review of that and a little review of the deck of cards that the Abandoned Room have put out as well. So first of all, a couple of announcements. A lot of people have said, what is this Vanishing Ink thing? You're going to be doing these reviews now in association with Vanishing Ink. Is it going to be biased? Are you going to be doing Vanishing Ink stuff only? And are you going to say it's all really good? No. This is really, nothing's changing at all about this review, okay? It is how it is. It's self-contained. I make it myself. Vanishing Ink has very kindly offered to share it with a wider audience and to get me some newer stuff to review. So if you want me to review stuff, still send it to me. Literally nothing has changed, but they made me a lovely graphic to go at the beginning, which is nice, isn't it? So there you go. If you want to know more about it, I'll put a link to the podcast I recorded with them below. The other thing is, can you please like and subscribe and press the little bell, because then you'll get the notifications. Makes all the difference. And go and check out my online card magic course if you want to take your card magic to a next level. This is all the moves you're ever going to need. I add more to them every week. We're adding tricks. There's a theory courses on there. So any questions about that, do as well. Email me if you want, steve@stevefaulkner.com, or comment below. But let's get on with the review of this show. So a little bit of background. Dynamo and his team opened up the Abandoned Room, this intimate sort of exclusive venue in the Mandrake Hotel, with his show that we're going to review now, Times Are Gone for Honest Men. And the idea is now, apparently, for this venue to be a kind of showcase for acts that the public wouldn't usually see. So Rob Zabrecki's coming over in May, and obviously other magicians have heard of him, but that's his first time he's done a run over in London. So it's quite exciting, really, because if you're like me, I mean, I went to see Dynamo's arena show and it was great, and I love seeing anything big, large scale, but I do think for me magic works mostly on an intimate level. So we need more venues like this. So this is great news. And now Dynamo is touring. He's doing a small tour with this same show and the same kind of sense of exclusivity. So it's still small venue. It still tends to be in a nice hotel. So I went to the Lowry Hotel in Manchester to see this. So when you walk in, the good news is I was expecting it, because it was in the Lowry Hotel, I was worried it was just going to be in like a big boardroom, you know, because it's an intimate venue, 150 seater, and I thought it might be a bit sterile. But the good news is obviously they thought of that. They've created a venue within a venue, really. So you walk in and it's almost like you walk into another bit, and they've designed this area, this space, this performing space that makes you feel like you're somewhere else, which is a really good thing. The feeling in there when you get in there is of, you know, something with the music and the design. It's got this kind of dark, edgy feel, and it's kind of that something's not quite right, that something is amiss. And that theme continues throughout the show. You know, we've got Dynamo doing the tricks, and I'm not going to go into what the tricks are. I'm not going to go into each routine because I think that will completely ruin it. But all I'll say is the magic is strong, it's varied, and it has this slightly edgy feel, most of it, as does the show. Now, it doesn't mean it's a dark show. There's moments of light in it. But it is, you know, things aren't quite right, and they haven't been quite right. You know, Dynamo's been through this few years, actually a lifetime of pain and with his condition. So that is reflected in the show, and he talks openly about that. The show opens in an intimate way, and so, you know, when you see an intimate venue, sometimes you think it's just going to be the same sort of show, but in a smaller venue. It's really not. It's not just intimate in the size of the venue, it's intimate in the choice of routines. The routines are strong, but they're quite low key, some of them. What I really liked is that the opening of the show is not a kind of big da-da, and I was sort of half expecting that to happen. You've got this intro at the start before Dynamo's on stage, and then lights come up and he's sitting at a table and he starts talking, and I really like that. I like the fact straight away it felt like something different. It felt like a different beast, really, from this whole arena stuff and the TV stuff that he was doing. So there's a lot to like about this. I like this atmosphere. I love the feel of the show. I love the feel of intimacy, like I've said. And it was also really nice to see him go off script a few times. It is a very scripted show, and that's understandable. It's got to be. You know, it comes in at 70 minutes, and 70 minutes bang on as well. But it was nice to see him come off script, and those moments where, you know, where you see someone do something scripted and then they sort of ad lib a little bit, and it's a genuinely funny ad lib. It just brings a moment of lightness, and everybody laughs. And you had those genuine laughs that came out, which I haven't really experienced with Dynamo's show before, where I kind of felt relaxed and felt comfortable. And that's not easy in an intimate setting. You know, I actually think a bigger audience is a lot easier to play, I've always found. And intimate is like, there's nowhere to hide there. It really is, you really are vulnerable. And when you're mixing that with talking about these aspects of your life, you know, it could go either way. And I was thinking it could have been really awkward. You almost want to have that distance with some magic shows especially, but straight away I felt comfortable. The script wasn't, you know, scripts are hard when you're talking about your life because it can come across really ultra scripted. And I think there was a couple of moments like that, but mostly I felt like I was listening to someone speaking from the heart. So straight away, that is a good thing, important in a show like this, because I didn't really want it to be trick after trick after trick after trick, and it genuinely isn't. I also liked the chemistry with the volunteers and the people that came up to help. And again, it sounds like a no-brainer, but most people tend not to be that good at this. And there was an authenticity to it as well. Like, for example, there was a moment where Dynamo said, "Oh yeah, you're the kid that came to my book signing the other day. How you doing?" and all that. So it kind of felt like he cared about the people that were on stage with him. Some people were on stage for quite some time, so that was really important. There was a couple of moments, I think, where there was a few issues with some of the tricks, but they were covered really, really well, and it meant that person was on stage for a bit longer than they should have been. And again, loads of respect there, and it didn't feel like people were just being props, which we do sometimes see. There was a real, you kind of liked him, and I know we like him anyway because that's what he does, and that's why people go and see him, especially non-magicians that are fans. But again, in that intimate setting, that's really important, that you really warm to that person. And the story is interesting, isn't it? You know, yes, most of us have heard it before, but not the details. And when he was talking about it, I was enthralled. But importantly, the show, it had a beginning, middle, and an end, and by the end, it did build up script-wise to something that was, I felt quite moved by it, which I wasn't expecting. And there was a really, really positive, you know, lovely message. And for someone like me, I like stuff like that. I mean, personal development and all that kind of stuff. So, it felt like a genuine positive message at the end of the show, which I thought finished really well in that respect. But it's not a perfect show, and you know, nor do we expect it to be. For me, there was. It followed a set rhythm, really, and that's all I can say. It's hard to describe it. There could have been some breaks in rhythm every now and then. It felt like it went at a steady pace and a good pace, and you know, the script wasn't rushed. There wasn't any kind of really awkwardness like that. But I could have done with a little bit of up and down. To me, it felt like it was kind of on the same wave. So, not that I wanted a big illusion or anything like that, but maybe one routine that was a little bit funnier, and it's hard to, you know, because I don't mean it should be like da 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 da, you know, it's not that sort of thing, but you know, a little bit of break in pace would have been nice. And the magic, you know, for a magician, if you're going to magician and you think you're going to go and see something that is going to completely blow you away and go, how the hell, it's not really that. This is the show for non-magicians, and as it should be, you know. But I will say that I think I gained a lot from this show. Yes, most of the tricks, you know, nothing new there really for me, but the presentation wise there was. But also I get inspired by seeing the show, and I get inspired by seeing, you know, when you know that things aren't going quite so well in certain bits, and you see how it's handled, and it gives you that confidence really, because when I perform, I still beat myself up if anything goes wrong, and I get so worried about the slightest little thing. And I think actually you see that and you go, actually, if you handle it well, it's all right. You know, so in that respect, yes, one of the bad points you could say was a couple of things didn't go so well, but that's a magic show, and that's going to happen. The good part of that is what you observe and what you learn, and how professionally it was dealt with. And obviously, he's had a lot of practice at that. I don't mean he's had a lot of practice because things always go wrong. I mean, he's done a load of shows by now. That's what I mean. So there's a really nice bit at the end after the last trick, which I really liked, and I suppose I could have done with that being a bit longer, a bit more stretched out, and to have a bit more. It kind of seemed to kind of and then I wanted more of that, which isn't a bad thing, leaving wanting more, but I could have done with a little bit more of a feeling of finale right at the end there. And there's the price point. Okay, this is not an inexpensive night out. Now it is, I think it's cheaper to go when it's on tour, because the tickets at the Abandon Room are more expensive, but I think you get more there. I think you get like canapes, and it's kind of a bit of a kind of, don't quote me on that because I haven't been. But obviously it's a permanent room, so it's going to feel a bit different. This, you know, and I got a review ticket, so I'll be totally honest, I didn't pay for the ticket, so thank you very much for that. But would I have been happy paying 85 quid for this if it wasn't Dynamo? And if I went to someone I'd never heard of, saw this show, paid 85, Probably not, because it's Dynamo, but that is what you're paying for, isn't it? You know, you're paying to see Dynamo in an intimate setting, and that's part of the excitement. That's part of what you're doing. And apparently the Brecci tickets are a bit cheaper, so well, quite a lot cheaper. So, you know, that is reflected in the price. So it didn't have a show. I wouldn't say it blew me away. I wasn't floored with it, but I'm a magician. It got a standing ovation, and my daughter was with me, and she was absolutely blown away. She's seen quite a lot of magic. She hasn't seen a lot of magic shows, but she loved all the tricks. She didn't notice anything that didn't go quite right, and she had a great time, and that's a lot. My daughter's 14 years old, right? So as a summary, I did really enjoy this. I do recommend going to see it. You'll get inspired by how you can use style and design to make things feel a bit different. I think it is a really good opportunity to see Dynamo with a small number of people in an intimate setting like that. It's really, really memorable. And what I've really enjoyed is seeing the progression of this career. Let's not underestimate this. This is someone that's gone from, you know, being at the magic conventions that we used to see, doing his body popping and his thibble cuts, to getting a TV show, putting all that work in, to then doing an arena show, which I thought was ballsy as hell. I think, you know, because it's easy, you know, if I go and do a corporate and die on my ass, that's fine, but you're taking huge risks there, and it takes a lot of courage, because if you've got a reputation to uphold and then you're doing something different, that things could go badly wrong. So you do that, and that was successful, and then this other thing, this intimate show as well, there's so much opportunity for this not to work. And I think, again, the courage it takes to do this, to go for that period of illness and then come out and do something that's more within, you know, that energy level that he can sustain, is something to be really sort of applauded, I think, whatever you think of the magic or that. So I just, you know, yes, I love the show. Show was great fun. It was flawed, but just to be in that room and see that at the end of all the last few years is a really good opportunity. So I do recommend you go and see it. But also, I want to talk about these. So here's the Abandon Room cards. Okay, we've got, really, look at that. That's lovely, isn't it? So if you're a card collector, it's going to look nice on your shelf with the other 500 that you've got. Like I said, there's only 2,000 of these printed. These are the Carta Monday B9 True Linen Finish. These are available at the gigs, and you can also get them at the Abandon Room website. I'll put the links below. I think they were kind of like 15, 17 euros. That's 15 quid, isn't it, on the website? And again, you can buy them at the gigs, but they're a really, really, really nicely produced deck. So thanks very much for watching. Like I always say, please like and subscribe. Check out cardmagiccourse.com and get your cull download at cardmagiccourse.com/cull. And thanks a lot for Vanishing Ink again for giving me this opportunity. Have a great one. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.
There's always another in my mind to explore the universe. So what if I could? Imagine I could go anywhere and see everything. And this bad boy, I can.
Drive charging. 3, 2. magic when I was like 10 years old, but it wasn't like the traditional route that normally you take, you get a magic set and you do magic. It was more, some guys at school were picking on me. They used to put me into a bin and throw me down a hill every day after school, and it wasn't fun. But my grandpa, who could do some amazing things, showed me a technique of taking away the bully's strength. So he couldn't pick me up, and they didn't put me in the bin. I didn't have to go down the hill anymore. Now, after seeing that, they obviously stopped picking on me, but they also didn't want to be seen to be scared of this little guy. So they kind of created this whole myth and this whole story that I had these superhuman powers. So I told my grandpa about that. He thought it was funny, and then together we kind of started to create things to kind of build on these stories, and eventually got to the point where people wanted to see me do crazy things. Just hold your hand up. So I've got a penny, English penny here, see that? And a 20 pence. Just close your hand on them tight. Choose one coin, the penny or the 20.
Penny.
Penny. Squeeze tight. The penny, yeah? Did you feel anything?
No.
Drop your hand down. I think, obviously, when I was doing Taking Away the Strength of the Bullies, that was probably the first ever performance. But then the first proper performance after that was probably when I went to college to do media studies and art and design. But I ended up getting booked by the college to perform at the college events, like the open days, and I ended up doing more magic work in college than college work. So after a while I kind of ended up leaving college and basically becoming Dynamo, travelling the world doing magic. Just write your name on there. See that? That doesn't rub off, does it?
No.
Just bite down on the card. Perfect, hold it right there. On the next card, the King of Clubs, I'll write Dynamo. So we've got Dynamo and the King of Clubs. Put yours in your mouth. Just stand up. Take a look.
I'm beyond speechless.
When I was about 19 years old, that's when I really thought, I had an idea that could actually potentially, put me on a world stage. And it was whilst I was in hospital. I've got Crohn's disease, an eating disorder, and I had to have an abscess removed from my bowel. And whilst I was sat in the hospital bed, I was there for 6 months. I kind of put together this whole master plan. If I'd have died then, which I almost did, what would people remember me for? So I created this whole idea to make the world's first sort of magic mixtape. Like DJs, make mixtapes, and dancers made promo tapes, and a lot of my friends were DJs and in the music, and dancing and stuff like that. So I took what they did to get themselves out there and combined it with my magic. And after getting out of hospital, I approached the Prince's Trust, and me and my business partner Dan, my manager, we got a startup loan to get a camera and a laptop, and we just started filming our adventures. And we ended up backstage with Snoop Dogg, and Coldplay, and Gwyneth Paltrow, some of these amazing, A-list superstars. And the reaction to the magic was incredible. And that moment right there, I knew we was onto something.
What up, people? I'm Dynamo, and we're here at Destination Glasso. We're drinking a lot of vitamin water. I'll be doing magic to people all day, so I'm going to show you guys a trick at home, yeah? Are you ready? I've got a pack of cards here. Yeah. I'm going to run my thumb like this down the pack. I want you just to remember one card at home. Can you do that? Did you get one? Yeah? Remember this card? Quick shuffle. Yeah. In a second, you have to go in there and get some vitamin water, yeah. But before you go in, I've got my animal myself, to be honest. But I'm gonna try something. I've got a 2 pence speed check out. It's a real coin, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. And then this, obviously, this is from the store. It's still sealed and everything. Yeah. Watch. You shot the camera.
No way. See it? You see it? That's magic.
I'm going to show you guys something right now. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 lottery tickets. And I thought of a nice way of winning the lottery. I'll show you that. Right. And I'm going to go buy some vitamin water. Do that.
Ace. Heart.
Ace of Hearts.
Yeah. Ace. Yeah.
Yeah? Now this was in your hand from the beginning. I made a prediction. I took 1 card. Let's see this. 1 card.
No, don't. No.
First in the wrong way.
No way. It's almost scary. Right? Should I touch you?
He's ghost. The guy's got talent. The guy's major talent. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool. In fact, I was like, cool. That was. But I don't know how I'm gonna do that. It's magic, right?
So double up. That was 3 shots, right? Yeah. Yeah, sure it's a 2-4. 1 and 3. 2-4. Okay. Okay, I'll do it real slow, really fair. So about halfway down. Can you put your hand like this, please? You didn't struggle that much there. Look at me. Just lift me again.
Quite right, so I should be able to toss him over a wall. Not like that. Strange.
I'm with the gorgeous supermodel, David Gandy. David, thank you very much for joining us.
That's okay.
How have you enjoyed the show?
Show's great, actually. The take on the quilted stitching was ingenious. I loved it, actually. You know, James Long, I know, and you know, he's a great guy, and he's always quite sort of very fashion forward. And you know, so I read the brief about sort of sci-fi and everything else.
How important is Linen Collections for men's fashion?
It's hugely important. It is important for many reasons. Not just for fashion. It's important for the economy. You know, we bring so much money in, and it gives the young designers a platform to really show what they can do. And I always say we don't really shout about what we do in this country enough, and we do this very well. And this is where all the trends and so much heritage started from menswear, and it's finally sort of come home, and it's hugely successful. so it's good.
So who are you wearing?
Me.
You're wearing you.
I'm wearing me. I designed it, so yeah.
Wow. Jones, editor of GQ magazine. Dylan, thank you very much for joining us.
Pleasure.
So tell us, in terms of style in London, how important is it compared to the likes of Milan and Paris?
I think you get more stylish people in London, particularly more stylish men, because you've got more creative influences. I mean, we created every major youth culture since the Second World War. We have great heritage with Savile Row. We have the best menswear designers in the world. So in terms of what men wear on the street, you'll see more inventive things here than anywhere else. Nowadays, men expect to buy really good clothes at very reasonable price points. And the great thing is that you can walk into a designer store, a bespoke tailor's, or you can go to the high street and you can get fantastic clothes. And I think that all you got to do is spend 20 minutes walking through various high street clothes and you get a pretty good sense of what's going on.
And where do you think people should get style inspiration from?
GQ magazine.
I'm joined by model here at the men's collection, Louis Evans. I don't know if you can get us both in the same shot. He's quite tall. I need some yellow pages to get on. So Louis, you're obviously told what to wear on the catwalk. Does your style differ in real life to what you have to wear when you're working?
I like, especially the Christopher Ray-Ban show. I mean, I own one of Christopher Ray-Ban's coats myself, but I genuinely try to go for all black. Draw attention more to up here rather than anywhere else.
I don't think you need any help with that. And how long have you been into fashion for? Has it just been because of the work you do, or were you always into it?
My mum was a model, so it's kind of been a part of my life from growing up, and she was very successful herself, so she kind of got me into it. And though growing up I wasn't really that interested, you know, it's kind of that rebellious thing, but I figured it would be good fun, and it is. So now I absolutely love it. So.
And just quickly about your backpack, it's the only bit of colour that you've got there. Is that a big thing for you? Is that your statement piece?
It's my statement piece. A little bit of flair.
Dynamo, thank you very much for joining us. So who are you here to see today?
Andrew, my stylist, because I haven't seen him since last year.
Oh my
yeah, we're going to go check out.
We're going to bring him in. Come on, bring him in. Come on.
Come on. We've got Andrew right here.
Hello.
And, we're going to see Matthew Miller
Okay.
first. And then we're going to go see next.
We're going to go to the Man Show to see the three young designers. Yeah.
So how important is fashion to you? Because you're on the television a lot.
Yeah, well, you got to look good, right? You know, and I think with magic, you know, it's about having a certain kind of mystique to the look as well.
Yeah.
So I'm always, you know, looking for like cool jackets with cool pockets so I can have all my cards and all the magic stuff. You know, but nothing on my sleeves though.
How important is London menswear, do you think?
Every time I leave a house, you know, it's very important what I'm wearing. So I think, you know, for every man living, not just in London, in fact, all over the world, it's important that we look good, you know, and it's just really good that we take such kind of a hiatus of how everyone looks in London nowadays. It's not just the women fashion shows, it's the men's is of high importance, so it's really, really good, yeah.
So who are you wearing quickly?
I got Alexander McQueen and Christian Dior and Lanvin. I don't know.
Do you always wear sort of top-end designers, or do you mix it with high street?
I mix it up a little bit, yeah.
Keeping
Yeah.
it
Yeah, just kind of what I thought on, you know, when I get out of bed.
So do you have any sort of relaxed sort of outfits that you wear at home? Anything that isn't designer?
Yeah, well, because it's winter, I'm not gonna lie, I've been sitting at home in my long johns and my onesie. You know, I've got to keep warm, haven't you?
You got to keep warm. Well, Dino, I won't keep you. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.
Journey around the world with Dynamo as he amazes people
I can't explain it. It's crazy.
with his unique brand of magic.
he flies over everybody. I was like, oh my God.
Catch him in this first and exclusive series.
You gotta be kidding me, man.
Dynamo Magician Impossible Season 2, Thursday and Friday nights at 10, only on Extreme.